Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking the very latest market data, industry research, and salary trends, and we're transforming them into a strategic roadmap for your engineering career. I am so thrilled to guide you through this because, let's be honest, the rules of the game have fundamentally changed over the last couple of years. We aren't just looking at what's popular anymore, we're looking at which languages are actually going to ensure your survival and your success in this wildly evolving tech ecosystem.
So let's just jump right into the elephant in the room. The ultimate question that's totally redefining the tech industry right now. With generative AI tools and coding assistants basically becoming standard issue in 2026, a lot of folks are wondering, is traditional coding dead? Well, the short answer is absolutely not. But your value as an engineer is no longer just in typing out syntax. Your real value? It's in architectural thinking, advanced problem solving, and knowing exactly which tool to deploy when you're dealing with complex, high-stakes environments. Here is exactly how we're going to map out the shifting landscape today. We'll start with the 2026 technology landscape, dive into why Python is the king of the AI era, check out some high-value specialized languages, look at the absolute foundation of enterprises, and finally, cover choosing your language by purpose. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the 2026 technology landscape. Let's get a bird's-eye view of where the programming world stands today. Now, looking at the May 2026 TOA index, you immediately notice Python sitting right there at the top with a massive lead, capturing nearly 20% of the market share. But if you look a little closer at the underlying data, something really fascinating is happening. The statistical programming language market is going through a massive consolidation. All those smaller niche languages, they're losing ground fast. Statistical computing is essentially boiling down to just two dominant ecosystems, Python for industry and AI and R for academia. The whole era of fragmented statistical tools is pretty much coming to an end. Moving right along to Section 2, Python, the king of the AI era. Let's unpack exactly why it's the undisputed heavyweight champion right now. Get a load of this number, 9.4 million yen. According to the March 2026 Freelance Board survey, which actually analyzed over 44,000 real job listings, that is the impressive average annual salary for a freelance Python engineer right now. Break that down, and you're looking at roughly 786,000 yen a month. The demand here is just exploding, driven heavily by tech companies aggressively pouring money into AI, data analysis, and SaaS platforms. And if the money wasn't enough, how about the lifestyle perks? 86.5%. That is the percentage of these Python roles that offer remote work. We're talking 32% being fully remote and 54.5% offering partial remote options. Because Python is the backbone of so much cloud-based development and remote data infrastructure, companies are incredibly flexible with where their engineers actually sit. So why the total dominance? Well, it's definitely not just a beginner's playground anymore. Today, it's the absolute non-negotiable standard for AI model interfaces like OpenAI and LangChain. It's driving huge automation gains everywhere. You've got massive industry demand across SaaS, fintech, and AI. It's the literal core of data science with libraries like Pandas and NumPy. And hey, if you ever hear someone say Python can't handle scale, just remind them that Instagram's backend, which serves billions of users, runs heavily on Python. But here is the real kicker. You have to know exactly where the demand lies within the Python ecosystem itself. Django absolutely rules the roost for full-stack enterprise development, boasting nearly 2,000 open freelance jobs. But take a look at the runner-up here, Fast API. It's growing like wildfire. It commands incredibly high average monthly rates simply because of its speed and efficiency in spinning up the APIs that modern microservices and AI applications completely rely on. Now, before we wrap up Python, I want you to keep a close eye on the horizon for Mojo. Look, we all know Python has historically had one major weakness, right? Raw processing speed. Well, Mojo is an emerging technology that's poised to totally solve this. It actually brings C++ level speeds directly to Python's familiar AI syntax. It's an absolute game changer for AI infrastructure, and you definitely want it on your radar. All right, on to Section 3, high-value specialized languages. Let's talk about how adopting some very specific weapons can seriously boost your market value. Let's compare two absolute powerhouses. First up, Rust. Yeah, it's got a notoriously high learning curve, but the payoff is massive. Thanks to its strict memory safety, it literally eliminates an entire class of cybersecurity bugs. That's exactly why tech giants like Google and Microsoft are actively replacing their legacy C and C++ systems with Rust. On the other side, we have Go, or Golang.
It strikes this perfect balance of simplicity and blistering speed, pulling in average salaries over 7 million yen for large-scale server development. If you're building cloud infrastructure or microservices, Go is without a doubt the undisputed king. Now, shifting over to the web, things have officially changed. JavaScript isn't going to disappear. It's the legacy foundation of the web, sure. But TypeScript? TypeScript has completely overtaken it as the new standard for both front-end and back-end development. Why? Because its clear data typing makes it infinitely easier for AI coding assistants to actually understand your code and generate bug-free additions. In this AI era, TypeScript and AI tools are just the ultimate symbiotic pair. Section 4, the absolute foundation of enterprises. We definitely can't forget the workhorses that keep the corporate world spinning. Look, new tools are shiny and exciting, but Java is the absolute bedrock of enterprise and financial systems. It still powers over 90% of Fortune 500 companies. Plus, recent updates like Java 21's virtual threads have totally modernized it for the cloud. Meanwhile, C and C++ remain completely irreplaceable when you need to push hardware to its absolute physical limits. We're talking Unreal Engine game dev, IoT devices, or the incredibly heavy back-end processing required by massive AI models. And we absolutely have to give a shout out to C#. Fun fact, it actually won the prestigious TOBE Language of the Year award in 2025. It is incredibly versatile. Whether you're building massive hit games in Unity or super robust business apps for enterprise clients, C# delivers this excellent developer experience that keeps it highly relevant and seriously sought after. Finally, Section 5, choosing your language by purpose. With all this data thrown at you, what's your next strategic move? In 2026, companies aren't just hiring coders anymore. They are grading technology based on 4 strict pillars. AI symbiosis, meaning does it play nicely with AI tools, security and memory safety, cloud resource efficiency, and ecosystem maturity. Relying on just one single language, that's an incredibly risky strategy today. The most valuable engineers out there right now are polyglots, people who can adapt and grab the exact right tool for the specific problem in front of them. So here's your cheat sheet, your personalized polyglot strategy map. Don't just chase trends blindly. Match your career destination to the tool built for that specific terrain. If you want to ride the massive AI and data wave, Python is your golden ticket. Building modern web apps, go with TypeScript. Want to architect lightning-fast cloud servers? Go is your best friend. For cutting-edge, ultra-secure systems programming, you've got to tackle Rust. And if you want the rock-solid stability of massive corporate systems, master Java or C#. I'm going to leave you with this one final thought. Programming languages, they are literally just tools in your tool belt. The real question isn't which tool is the trendiest right now. It's what exactly do you want to build and which tool is going to help you build it best in this AI-driven era. Take a hard look at your goals, pick your weapon of choice, and get out there and start building. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.